Yo, why are we backwards? Yo, fix it. What's good, Blood fam? Happy Halloween. Papa Blood dressed up like Bill Belichick, as you can see. And you know who I am already. We're out here throwing bombs and banging moms and rocking and rolling on this fine Thursday evening. Papa Blood, how we feeling?
Happy Halloween to everybody. No
Bet
costume.
that's you are literally rocking the signature Bill Belichick look.
Yeah, I know.
So that I mean, Alex dressed up as a hater. No, I dressed up as the GOAT, my guy, the real GOAT. Don't worry, I got something else for tonight, Thursday Night Football, because there ain't no way I'm wearing this jersey during a Jets game. I just saying it ain't gonna happen. They don't.
Bad now.
They don't deserve it. Yeah. So, little recap. Last week I went 500. Which is better than I thought. And that puts me 70 to 53. You went 10-6 last week. And so that's going to put you up at that 81 to 42. You're doing all right. And I am still, a good chunk of the day, a chunk of the way above 500. So I'm happy. I don't care, man. I'm happy. But this week, I did not make my picks yet. I'm going to do them right here, right now. And I did make them during my work pick'ems. And I got a brief look and I told them, I said, I'm doing this no thought. So I just filled it out real quickly because I had a lot going on at work today. So from what I could tell, this is going to be an interesting week. Very easy to go the wrong direction. But we're going to shoot our shot and, worst case scenario, I can walk around acting like Zach Wilson again and not worry about it.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, with Zach Wilson, you're going to be close to 50-50.
That's my boy. All right. Let's get into week 9 picks, shall we?
Let's go.
All right. Starting off, like I said, I'll go ahead and take this one first. We got Thursday Night Football, the 6-2 Texans heading to take on the 2-6 Jets. They're 2-6, but they got all their pals there, so they're happy. This game's definitely a trap game, in my opinion. 100% a trap game, which I know I'm wearing a Jets jersey, but I haven't had the heart to buy the Broncos one yet. So it's what I'm rocking today. But I got no feelings for this team. I don't care that they got Devontae Adams. They lost Allen Lazard. Whatever. Give me the Texans on Thursday Night Football to beat the trap.
Man, now you got me really concerned because you suck at Thursday Night Football. And here, let's just make matters worse really fast since we're getting into this. You suck at Thursday Night Football. You pick the Texans, undoubtedly, and the Jets are favored in this game.
Make it make sense. Any of it. Go ahead.
Make any of this make sense. You know what?
Choose wisely.
F history. F Alex's Thursday night ban. I got to go the Texans as well because I just can't pick the Jets after everything they've done or not done this year.
Dude, I can't pick the Jets either, man. They're cooked, and I'm comfortable taking this L if the Jets want to win. They're supposed to. They're at home. They're a super team minus Allen Lazard this week. Everything is right there except for their win total. So whatever. I don't care. Give me the Texans. Give me CJ Stroud and the boys. The real winners in Texas this year, and let's get through it.
I'm just going to say they're probably going to lose tonight. I just feel it, but I can't pick it.
Well, that's your loss. I even went first, so you had the opportunity to not do what I do.
I understand.
Yeah, but I'm going to let you go first on this next one because you were very confident in one of these two teams last week, and I was not. And I was actually right. So first 1 o'clock game we got the Cowboys heading to Atlanta to take on your dirty birds.
Yeah, I like the Falcons. I still like the Falcons. the Cowboys had an opportunity to go into San Fran last week and beat a team that was not playing well. They failed me there. They're going to fail me in Atlanta. Give me the Falcons. I don't care.
Yeah. I was gonna take the Falcons in this one also. They're good at home. They're 5-3. The boys, they're 3-4. I could care less. In my opinion, they're 0-7 at this point. Like it feels no different. There is something wrong. You can point your fingers at Dak. You can point your fingers at Jerry Jones. You can point your fingers at whatever you want to point it at. Either way, they can't win games that matter. Like they can't win at home. They can't win against a good team in the Niners that are broken. Keep in mind, they're completely broken right now. And they can beat the Falcons, I think. But I don't think they're gonna. I like the Falcons here to get it done. Moving on to my least favorite game of the week, probably. It's not going to be the worst game of the week by far. It's just my personal preference. This is disgusting. We got the 5-3 Broncos heading to take on the 5-3 Ravens. I'm curious to what you have to say, so that's why I'm gonna get mine out of the way. Give me the Ravens, cause F the Broncos first and foremost. Second of all, I think the Ravens are still the better team. The Broncos might have the better defense, but Lamar is still an elite quarterback that has been playing very well this year. This is not a hater pick. It's just a very big want. So give me Lamar. I know you want the Ravens to lose here, but this is almost the same as Chiefs versus Bengals right now. Like, you want your team to win. You need the Ravens to lose. I need the Broncos to lose. So give me Big Truz.
Listen, I picked to win. I don't pick just to get what I want. I think
all right, go ahead and do it then.
I think that, albeit this matchup is pretty even with one exception, and that's considerably at the quarterback position. Lamar's at home. I can't take the Broncos in this game. However, the Broncos did win, or not the Broncos, the Raiders went into Baltimore and won with less of a team and less of a quarterback. I have a feeling I'm going to get burnt again, but I'm taking the Ravens at home.
I can't willingly pick them, so I'm not gonna. But honestly, it's one of the better matchups of the week. It's a real test. This pass rush for Baltimore is no joke. So it's a real test for the Broncos O-line, which is playing really well, and a rookie quarterback. Sean Payton versus Harbaugh. It's just a good matchup. You love to see it. I feel like this is going to be one of those games where you don't really want to take the over. Like, I feel like this is going to be ruthless. There might be blood, and F the Broncos.
Yeah, quietly the two best rookie quarterbacks have been Bo Nix and
Jaden
Daniels,
my boy. Moving on to the next one, we got the 2-5 Dolphins heading to Buffalo to take on 6-2 Bills. In my heart, I want to believe this is a trap. In my heart, I want to pick the upset. So I'm going to leave it there, though. In my heart, I'm going to be rooting for the Dolphins. But give me the Bills. I think the spread's like 7.5 or 9, or it doesn't matter. Let them cover. I get burnt every single time on this, and I'm not going to do it this week as much as I want to. I had to save my mistakes for other games, and I hope I'm wrong here, but I have to take the Bills to probably walk all over the Dolphins.
Yeah, likewise. I look for this to be an entertaining game. I look for this to be a better performance by the Dolphins. I think Tua's going to get back into his groove a little bit, because this Bills defense is not that good. They're not as good as what they have been playing, because they've been playing on the lead. If Miami can get out to an early lead, this game's going to be super, super tight, but I can't pick against Buffalo at home right now.
I can't pick against Buffalo. I did last week. I got burnt. Hats off to them. They do get Von Miller back for this game off of his suspension, so that bolsters out a little bit. Poor Tua, he went out against this defense, and now he's got to go into their home and face him again. Hopefully Tua stays healthy for this one, and you get a complete 4 quarters, because the last matchup between these two teams was awful. And that, I'm talking pre-Tua injury, was awful. So I hope to see a better match. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Dolphins can at least cover. But I can't pick against the Bills right now. Moving on to the next. I'm gonna let you take this one. We got the 2-6 Saints at the 1-7 Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the overall best game of the week.
That's what I said.
You just have no idea what you're going to get. Derek Carr is set to return in this game.
Derek Carr dunked 44.
Huh?
Derek Carr dunked 44 on this team in week 1, or 47.
Everything points that direction. I still don't think the Panthers get better at home yet. They haven't shown any sign that they can win games other than at Las Vegas. So give me the Saints and Derek Carr in his return, although I think that next week will probably be different for them.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking the same thing. This was the one week that I'm like, wow, is it really that unreasonable to consider the Panthers? And I really don't think that it is that unreasonable in this very scrummy matchup. But you said one thing to me like a week or two ago. It's like, you got to stop picking the Panthers. So
you've got to stop picking the Panthers, period.
That's like the one thing you've said to me. You said you're never getting over the Denver thing, but you got to stop picking the Panthers. You know what? I was right one time picking them. I've only picked them 4 times, but I'm not going to do it this week. I like that Saints defense. Bryce Young is... I mean, this is going to be a type of revenge game for him after what happened in week 1. I think we might see something. We might not. I'm not going to get my hopes up as much as I'd like to. But yeah, moving on to your game. This is honestly a pretty decent matchup if you think about it. We've got the 2-6 Raiders heading to take on a 3-5 Bengals. Must-win game for the Bengals. I'm sure it's a must-win game for the Raiders, but the way the AFC's played out, it doesn't feel that way to them. It just feels like if they win, cool. If they lose, cool. But I think this is the first time they've played each other since they played in the playoffs, which, that might make for a hungry Raiders defense. Give me the Bengals. I think this is Zach Taylor's last chance as a play caller, at least. If he makes some dumb decisions that loses this game, there's got to be at some point some call to question. Do I think the Raiders can come in and upset this Bengals team? Absolutely. Do I want that to happen? This game doesn't affect me at all. So no, I'm here as long as it's a good game. And obviously I want your team to win just to be supportive. And I don't hate the Bengals. But, the only thing to cheer about your team losing is maybe they will get rid of Zach Taylor if you guys keep losing. You got too good of a team. So, I don't know. Give me the Bengals. I feel good about it, but also I feel like the Raiders can play spoiler here.
Yeah, fair enough. And you're just in your thought process, because what have they shown us this year? They've shown us that they can play well and lose. They've showed us that they can play badly and lose close. They've shown us that they can win a few games, but they haven't beat anybody spectacular. But this Raiders team, I like them. I like everything about them. They don't have a quarterback that's worth a salt yet. And they're going to need a quarterback, because I believe that Joe Burrow is taking this all personally, and he is going to play a good game. And I think it will take a similar effort on the Raiders side for them to win. And I don't see anybody there that can really provide that. Give me the Bengals at home, and I'm hoping to just see 500 one more time this year.
That's fair. Moving on to the next. This one's tough, honestly. We got the 4-3 Chargers taking on the 2-6 Browns in Cleveland. I know that doesn't even sound like it's gonna be that tough, but it really does feel tough. Chargers are a weird team this year, and I think the Browns have found a new life. So this is going to be one of my upset picks. I actually do want the Chargers to win this game, because I need someone to rise above Denver because I'm sick of it in our division. And right now, that can't be the Raiders. It has to be the Chargers. But I'm actually picking Cleveland at home, playing with a little bit of emotion. No knock on the Chargers defense, no knock on Harbaugh, no knock on either side, really. I feel like this is more evenly matched than it looks. I think Nick Chubb, Jameis Winston, and I just lost his name. Their tight end, David Njoku, are gonna hold tough at home. It's one of my biggest upsets of the week. I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah, I think Harbaugh's got probably a really good plan coming in here, but the other Harbaugh had a really good plan coming into Cleveland as well. You know what? I've always been a Jameis Winston fan. I've always been a Nick Chubb fan. I love David Njoku. I love this Browns defense. They have not sold off any of their defensive pieces so far. You know, the Chargers are 4-3 and the Browns are 2-6, but I feel like the Browns are playing better football all around. They played pretty tight against Cincinnati. They beat Baltimore in the clutch. Jameis with the big throw. Baltimore had every chance in the world to win that game, but couldn't do it. Give me the Brownies at home. Back to picking my AFC North teams. Let's go.
I am genuinely kind of surprised about that. Not gonna lie, because you've been kind of low key high up on this Chargers team.
I love this Chargers team. I think they're a playoff team, but I think the Browns are going to outgrind them at home.
It's win-win for me either way in this game, so I don't have I really want this team to win. Like, I'm happy no matter which team wins this matchup, which I never thought I'd say, but the Chargers win gets them closer to second place. The Browns win, that means the Chargers lose. So either way, it's a win-win for me. That was probably my biggest real upset of the week. But I feel okay about it, honestly.
Fair enough. I like it.
Moving on to the next one, we've got the 6-2 Comanches heading to Jersey to take on the 2-6 Giants. This is 100% a trap game because the Giants historically, the last lot of years, have beat the crap out of the Giants. The Commanders, the last time these teams played each other early in the year, won this game with like 6 field goals. Jaden's got a little bit more reps under his belt and can actually get the ball in the end zone a little more consistently. So they're not going to fall for the trap. They're going to get the dub. F the Giants. We're all sick of them. And Jaden Daniels, dog. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. The game earlier in the season, Jaden Daniels was just learning how to play in the NFL. It's a very tough slate, your first 2, 3, 4 games for sure. He's gotten a lot better in rhythm. I think there's a lot of components on the offense that are helping him. Austin Eckler is like a dream at running back. I'm picking the Giants as well. Washington.
I did not pick the Giants.
I'm picking the Commanders as well. But I feel like the Giants are going to be in this game, and
their defense alone puts them in this game.
I don't think this one's going to be a walk, a pushover in any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be tough. But, hey, guess what? At 6-2, it's tough to get to 10 wins in this NFL. Go Comanches, get the dub. The Giants can say bye-bye. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Moving on to the next. I don't even know how I feel about this game. It's either going to be amazing or awful. Or both somehow at the same time. We got the 2-6 Patriots heading to take on the 1-6 Titans. I don't know if Drake May's playing. I don't know if Jacoby Brissett's playing, but I'm going on a whim here. Give me the Patriots on the road to get the dub.
Yeah, I thought about this one long and hard, and
I did too.
right now, this game here is probably the literal toss-up of the week. I can't see anything that shows me that it's going to be anything other than like a 6-3 or a 4-2 type of game. That's 3 safeties, by the way. But I think I'm going to go ahead and suck it up and take Brian Callahan and the Titans at home, even though I think they're a mess.
I respect that. I actually respect that a lot. I wanted to take the Titans, but Patriots have shown a little life lately, and that's where I leaned towards with this one. Moving on to the next, because we don't have a whole lot of time. This is probably the most fun matchup of the week, in my opinion. We've got the 4-3 Bears to take on the 4-4 Cardinals. One of these teams is in last place in their division. One of these teams is in first place in their division. So that's wild. But I think both of these teams are kind of fun this year. Obviously you've got a rookie with the Bears, and you've got the vet with the Cardinals, but they're playing around the same caliber of football. I'm taking a home team here. I know the Bears come off a embarrassing loss last week to the Commanders, but they did show some fight. I think the Cardinals have just shown life the last 2 weeks or so, and I think they're starting to put it together a little bit better. They're getting Kyler to Marvin Harrison connection a little bit stronger. James Conner is very good. I think this Bears defense will give them trouble. I think Caleb Williams will have breathing room against the Cardinals a little bit, but I'm going to take the home team because I really didn't know who to pick in this one. So,
yeah, fair enough. It's another one that's really close. I looked at this matchup, and believe it or not, this Cardinals team, when I look at their roster and how they play football, they remind me a lot of the Commanders. So I think we're going to see a very similar style game. Their defense is not great all around, but they're good situationally. And I think situational defense is what it takes to stop Caleb Williams. I think Kyler Murray, albeit he has a lot of challenges to win, I think he's going to get the dub at home. The Cardinals to go 5-4. Give me little Kyler, and let's go with some Call of Duty.
Little Kai.
Little Kai. Let's play some COD 6. Let's go.
Okay, maybe not in the next one. I feel like this is a trap. I can't fall for it, but we got the 2-6 Jags heading to take on the 5-2 Eagles. It feels like a trap, and I really want the Jags to win this game, but this is the one game I literally have nothing to say about, and so I'm just gonna take the Eagles. I want the Jags to do it because it would be funny. But I don't know how I feel about this one, so I'm going to leave all the words to you.
Well, let's just say that if I had anybody to pick in the NFL for the most part that I would want to be my GM, it's Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman went out and drafted 2 rookies to play in the secondary, and those 2 guys are playing solid football. They have shut down just about everybody that they've went up against. Cooper DeJean and the kid from Ohio, the first round, Kenyon Mitchell. Those 2 guys are outstanding. That defense is starting to come around, and they're starting to look like that team that went to the Super Bowl again. I think it took a little time to get this defense reacclimated with a new coordinator. Both coordinators are new. I think Philadelphia is on the uptick. I'm hoping that they're on the uptick because they embarrassed me last week playing great football. Give me the Eagles at home because I feel like they're getting ready to go on a run.
I think that's fair. But if I want a stupid upset for no reason, this is the game. Yeah. I got no feelings about this Jags team. I don't care about them. I want them to go away, but I would love to see them just do it.
I know that Brian Thomas, the rookie receiver, is on the injury report. I don't know if he's playing or not. I just know that this Jaguars team cannot find rhythm. They can't stay in rhythm. And if you want to find a team that can knock you out of rhythm, ask the Bengals. It's the Eagles.
Yeah, I there's just no way I think the Jags can win this game, but I hope they figure it out something. I don't know. All the cards are stacked against them. That's why it's the best time to win.
Yeah, be safe, Charlie.
Moving on to probably the media favorite game of the week at the bare minimum. But a very great matchup. The 6-1 Lions head to take on the 6-2 Packers. I'm pretty sure the Lions have won 5 out of the last 6 meetings between these two. And they are rolling, but I think at some point they're going to get hit a wall, face a little adversity, and I think that this is going to be this week. I don't know what is telling me this because in my gut I feel like the Lions is the right choice here. But we talked about this earlier in the year. There's something special in Green Bay right now. We don't understand it, but it's there, you know. But there's also something extremely special in Detroit. So I think this is going to be one of the ones for the ages. But I'm going to take the Packers at home to get the upset. Yes, I said upset because I feel like it is the way this Lions team is rolling. But eventually they're going to have to slow down. And I think this is a good matchup for that to happen.
Wow. I mean, talk about a good spot for an upset, and you're picking a 6-2 team for an upset. That tells me that you think a lot of the Lions, which so do I.
I do.
Jared Goff is playing out of his mind, and Jordan Love is injured. Jordan Love has a groin injury. He is determined to play on Sunday, was a quote from him. I feel like he's going to make that happen. They're going to go into Green Bay. It's supposed to be a nasty field. Which I don't know if that helps or hurts the Lions. It probably helps the Packers. I see a lot of things that are pushing towards the Packers, except for Jared Goff has played the best 3 or 4 games in a row that I've ever seen. They've got the running back game. They've even without Hutch, they still got the defense. Until they prove me wrong, I'm picking the Lions every week. Let's go Detroit.
It actually made me cringe a little bit picking against them. Houston tonight. Yes, sir. I got you, Jeff. Moving on to the next, we got the 3-4 Rams heading to take on the 4-4 Seahawks. I picked the Seahawks last week. It kind of really stung. Rams look really good. I picked against them last week, and that also stung. So, long story short, they can't both bird me this week, but I'm gonna take the Rams to get back to 500 and beat the Hawks.
Listen, I straight up said this last week that until something changes, I'm not picking the Seahawks anymore. Geno Smith is too inconsistent. They're not running the ball well. They have a good defense. But my boy, Matty Stafford, has got his receivers back, and they looked like a totally different team against Minnesota last week. You cannot deny that they looked like an offensive team that can compete with anybody. Give me the Rams. F the Seahawks.
Oh, man, Charlie should be glad that she had to leave.
I said it last week. I'm not getting burned on them again.
We just crapped on both of her teams in a matter of like 10 minutes.
Touche.
All right, moving on to Sunday Night Football, and I know people probably are like, this game should have got flexed out, whatever, blah blah blah. We've got the 4-4 Colts at the 5-2 Vikings, but what people don't think about is the last time these two met each other was a 1:00 game. It was Matt Ryan's Colts. It was the greatest collapse in NFL history. The Colts were up like 40-3 at halftime, and the Vikings came back and won this. So the Vikings are on a bit of a skid right now. They've lost 2 in a row, and the Colts have made their decision. They're going with Old Man Joe to lead the ship, and I know this is a good opportunity for Minnesota to bounce back, but I think the guys that were still on this team remember how bad that hurt. I remember how mad I was because the Colts were incredibly big underdogs, and I went all in with them, and I looked like a genius at halftime. But look, if Joe Flacco gets a full 35-point lead at halftime, they're not losing this game. I'm sorry, Matt Ryan, but you're no Joe Flacco. So give me the Colts to upset the Vikings at the bank.
Hey, you know what? Fair enough. The Colts made the best decision for their team. The one thing that we can say about these rookie quarterbacks or the ones from the last 2 years is Anthony Richardson did not have enough experience in games. Look at this. Like Bo Nix is playing fairly well right now because he played 61 games in college. Anthony Richardson played in 13. He got benched because he's not the guy that's going to lead this team to victory. With him playing, they were still competitive. Joe Flacco makes them a better team. But I'm going to bet on Kevin O'Connell and his Vikings to get a win at home. Don't you fail me, Kevin. Don't you fail me, Sammy Darnold. If Sam Darnold throws 3 interceptions, I'm not picking the Vikings for the rest of the year. Go Vikes.
Oh, man. I respect that. I should pick the Vikings. But I want another matchup like last time. All right, Monday Night Football. Here we go. We got the 4-4 Buccaneers heading to take on the 7-0 Chiefs. I got one thing to say. We might not have been able to beat Tom in the Super Bowl, but every regular season we played against that elite Buccaneers defense. We tore them to shreds. All right. Now, this Kansas City offense looks incredibly different than it did last year, the year before, all the meetings that we had. And I think the Chiefs are going to be 8-0 after this week. There's no disrespect to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I absolutely love Baker Mayfield, and they showed a lot of fight last week against Atlanta. But I'm very nervous about them going on the road 2 weeks in a row. And actually, they were at home last week. I don't know why I said that. But them going on the road, if they can't get big wins at home, how are they supposed to get big wins on the road when they are down right now? So I like Chiefs Kingdom to come through, and the Chiefs come out 8-0 halfway through the season.
Yeah, straight up. I feel like this is the one team that has a quarterback that is gamey enough to stay in this game. I think Baker Mayfield gives the Buccaneers an edge on the road that most teams don't have, and it's not anything to do with his ability to play quarterback. It's his gamesmanship. He's really locked in, and he knows this is like his Super Bowl. I expect a top-notch performance out of Baker Mayfield, but listen, they don't have all the pieces that they need to win this game. The roster's just not quite there yet. No matter how much Baker wills them, they're going to come up maybe a little bit short. I don't think this is a blowout by any stretch of the imagination, but give me the Chiefs at home to win a tight game.
Yeah, I didn't say this was going to be no blowout or nothing.
I didn't say you did.
No, I'm just making myself clear. I know eventually we will lose a game before the playoffs start, you know. And if it isn't by week 16 or 17, it will happen then. But, you know, it is definitely possible. I think Baker is learning how to play without his two receivers, his two top guys. And so he's only going to get better for it. And other guys are going to have to continue to step up for him. K. Dotton had a huge week last week, National Tight Ends Day. You know, this is winnable for them. The Chiefs are playing a different type of football, but the Chiefs defense will give them some problems because that's been our highlight of the season thus far. And if the Bucs can stop the run game against Kansas City, they have a really good chance to come in and get the upset.
Fair. I think it's.
I never thought I'd ever say that, ever. If they could stop the run game, they can beat us. But like, I never thought I'd say that. But here we are.
Hey, we wanted to take a little bit of break before Thursday night football.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, we might change the time back to 8:10. I wasn't sure what time you could get home, so I set it for 8:15. So might switch that back.
All right. So that means Maniac said, I also think it would be really funny if the Bucs beat the Chiefs, and the biggest brag we would have is that we beat both the top teams in the NFL. In the NFL, their only loss. Who else did you beat?
I guess he's saying they beat Detroit.
Oh, right. I forgot. You're right. That would be funny. But
hey, that would be something to hang your hat on, Maniac, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we're going to wrap things up. We'll be back to continue this Halloween evening to spend with you guys, and make sure you get your picks in CBS. Jeff, I'll put your Texans pick in for you. Don't worry, I got you. But we're going to close this down so we can have like 15 minutes to get ourselves rocking and rolling. I just got home 30 seconds before we started this stream, so I got to like take care of my dogs and figure everything out. But we appreciate you all for kicking it with us. Those of you who are in here right now. Hopefully we'll see you back for some Thursday night football. Normally I would say go Chiefs, but right now I am the GOAT. So I don't think in Denver right now he's saying go Chiefs. But hide your moms. That's all I got to say. Hide your moms, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Ouch.
Yo!